Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the June 8th, 2015 meeting of the Town of Tonawanda Town Board. This time I would like to call the meeting to order. And I would ask the clerk to please take the roll call.
Supervisor Caruana.
Here.
Councilman Eminger.
Here.
Councilman Kringle.
Here.
Councilman Bernese.
Here.
Councilwoman Shamira. Here.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as Councilman Eminger gives the invocation and leads us to the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag.
On this day, 226 years ago, the fourth President of our United States, before he was President, James Madison, put before the Continental Congress 12 amendments to the Constitution. 10 of them, 2 years later, got ratified in 1791, that we now know as our Bill of Rights. One more of those amendments got ratified, believe it or not, in 1992. So 11 of those 12 amendments by Mr. Madison got presented. Let us remember we are in the holy presence of God. Heavenly Father, we gather tonight in thanksgiving for all the gifts that you have bestowed upon our country, on our community, on ourselves, and our neighbors and family. We ask you to continue to bless all those who put themselves in harm's way, whether they be policemen, firemen, public safety officials, or those men and women who defend our country, both home and abroad. We ask this in your Son's name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Approve the minutes of the Town Board meeting held May 18th, 2015.
If no errors or omissions to these minutes have been discovered, I declare them approved as typed and presented. Thank you.
The following items are received and filed. Planning Board's May 6th minutes and June 3rd agenda. Library Board's April 14th minutes.
These items are received and filed. Thank you.
Expiration of a permissive referendum on May 19th is related to Resolution 302 for authorizing the supervisor and the town board acting as commissioners of the Water Acquisition and Storage District to execute a lease agreement for 1275 Parker Boulevard between the town and Blue Wireless Co. relative to Job 2438, cellular tower projects.
Second one.
There were no written communications. No.
Okay, we don't. Okay. So noted. Thank you.
Resolution 398. Communication received from St. Bartholomew's Church requesting barricades from the Highway Department for use during its annual Vacation Bible Study program is set forth in the agenda before you.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Eminger, seconded by Councilwoman Shamira on the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 399. Motion to approve and authorize St. John the Baptist Church to use town streets for their annual summer festival and walk run, Dash and Bash, to be held on Friday, July 24th at 7 o'clock along the route as set forth in the agenda before you.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Eminger, seconded by Councilwoman Shamira on the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 400, motion to approve payments by First Niagara Risk Management for claims totaling $486.07 and claim expenses totaling $2,794.57.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Shamira, seconded by Councilman Eminger on the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 401, motion to approve and authorize attendance and training seminar requests is submitted by the Youth Parks and Recreation Department and is set forth in the agenda before you.
So moved.
Second.
A motion by Councilman Kringle, seconded by Councilwoman Shamira on the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 402, motion to approve new hires, rehires, change of status, and added rates is submitted by Eileen Fleming, Director of Labor Relations, and is set forth in the agenda before you.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Councilman Kringle, seconded by Councilman Bernese on the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 403, further communication from the Personnel Department recommending that the Town Board approve and authorize the supervisor to execute any and all documents relative to appointments by the Highway Superintendent pursuant to Section 140 of the Highway Law, and is set forth in the agenda before you.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Councilman Krangle, seconded by Councilman Barnese. On the question, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 404, approve and authorize the Supervisor and Chief of Police to execute all documents pertaining to a grant from the United States Department of Justice, Office of Community-Oriented Policing Services, for the purposes of hiring one new police officer, and authorize Grantmaker's Advantage to prepare said application.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Councilman Krangle, seconded by Councilman Barnese. On the question, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 405, motion to approve and authorize the Supervisor to sign an approval of borrowing for Ellicott Creek Volunteer Fire Company to finance the construction of a firehouse at 3000 Sweet Home Road.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Councilman Krangle, seconded by Councilman Barnese. On the question, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 406, replace the law firm of Damon and Morey with the law firm of Gibson, McCaskill, and Crosby to perform legal services related to the defense of Article 7 proceedings brought against the town.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Krangle, seconded by Councilwoman Shamira. On the question,
Mr. Supervisor,
Councilman Eminger.
just for the public's knowledge, what is going on in this resolution is Damon and Morey, and more specifically their attorney, Michael Willett, represents the town on our Article 7 tax assessment cases. He's one of the attorneys we use. Damon and Morey, you may have read in the paper, merged with Hiscock Barclay. They're now known as Damon and Barclay. Mr. Willett did not stay with Damon Barclay because Damon and Barclay chose not to recuse themselves for some cases they had against the town. And so Mr. Willett went with the firm of Gibson McCaskill. Mr. Willett is one of the most well-respected tax assessment Article 7 attorneys in the area. And that this resolution is just maintaining that relationship with Mr. Willett in his new place of employment, and we are lucky to have him representing the town in these matters. And I'm sure our assessor, Mr. Morano, would agree.
Anyone else on the question? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 407, motion to authorize the Supervisor to execute a street tree inventory agreement, non-pro-tunc, with the SUNY Research Foundation, Department of Geography and Planning at SUNY Buffalo State, relative to Job 2951 in the amount of $29,766.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Barnese, seconded by Councilman Eminger. On the question,
Mr. Supervisor, can we have our town engineer, Jim Jones, who's been working on this, just for the public's knowledge? Can you come up, Jim, and say exactly what's going to be going on with this resolution?
Yeah, we got a DEC grant to do a tree inventory, and we hired a consultant, a professional arborist, a GIS firm, and we're also partnering with Buffalo State College, and we're using their students to do the data collection out on the streets. We're going to inventory all the trees on the town roads. We're estimating there's about 30,000 trees on town roads that we need to inventory. This helps in management and maintenance of these trees. They're a big asset, but a big responsibility for our highway department. And this will also be a precursor to future grants as prerequisites.
Thank you.
okay, thank you. Anyone else on the question? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 408, communication from William Swanson, Superintendent of Highways, requesting the Town Board approve and authorize the Supervisor to sign a shared services agreement with the City of Tonawanda to allow the Highway Department to assist the city in milling certain city streets, subject to approval by the Town Attorney.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Barnese, seconded by Councilman Eminger. On the question,
Mr. Supervisor, just
Councilman?
real quick, we talked about this in the work session earlier, and our highway department will do many of our departments. They do shared services with other communities, other departments, and this is what the city of Tonawanda. Everybody probably is aware that we also do this with the village of Kenmore, our highway department, and it doesn't take away from the number of streets that are going to be done in the town of Tonawanda. It's done sort of like after the fact. When they get ahead of themselves, they will send the milling machine over into the village or over to the city of Tonawanda. And just another example of collaboration between our local municipalities.
Thank you. Anyone else on the question? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 409, motion to approve and authorize the supervisor, town board, and superintendent of highways to sign and execute a utility work permit with National Grid for the installation of 10 poles with streetlights on Ashford Avenue as set forth in the agenda before you.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Councilman Barnese, seconded by Councilman Eminger on the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 410, motion to approve and authorize the supervisor, town board, and superintendent of highways to sign and execute a utility work permit with National Grid for the installation of 10 poles with streetlights on Wellington Avenue as set forth in the agenda before you.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilwoman Shamira, seconded by Councilman Eminger on the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 411, motion to approve and authorize the superintendent of highways to sign and execute a utility work permit with National Grid for installation work on Woodcrest Boulevard as set forth in the agenda before you.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Barnese, seconded by Councilman Eminger on the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 412, motion to approve and authorize William Swenson, superintendent of highways, to execute a utility work permit with Verizon to perform excavation work on Brendan Avenue pursuant to Highway Law Section 149.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Councilman Barnese, seconded by Councilman Eminger on the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 413, communication received from Mike Kaiser requesting the town board approve and authorize the supervisor to execute a standard software maintenance agreement for a period of 5 years effective July 1st, 2015 to June 30th, 2020 with New World Systems Corporation, Job 2468 at a cost of $61,550 the first year.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Councilman Barnese, seconded by Councilman Eminger on the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 414, motion to approve and authorize the supervisor to execute an agreement between the town and various bands for July and August of 2015, participating in the Youth Parks and Recreation Department's Summer Concert Series as outlined in the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Krangle, seconded by Councilwoman Shamira on the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 415, communication received from Jerry Ushhold, Chief of Police, requesting town board approval to dispose of one police department vehicle that is cost prohibitive to repair via sale to DeLacy Ford for a total amount of $400.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Councilman Krangle, seconded by Councilman Barnese on the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 416, communication from Jeff Ehlers, Director of Youth Parks and Recreation, requesting permission to purchase the ASA blanket accident policy for adult softball teams participating in the Summer Softball League. Cost is $205 per team, or $11,480 total based on the 56 teams registered in the league. All costs are covered through team registration fees.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Krangle, seconded by Councilwoman Shamira on the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 417, communication from Jeff Ehlers, Director of Youth Parks and Rec, recommending that the town board adopt the schedule of fees and charges for the Youth Parks and Recreation fall and winter programs. 2015 through 2016, as set forth in the agenda before you.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Krangle, seconded by Councilwoman Shamira. On the question, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 418, communication from Jerry Ushold, Chief of Police, recommending the Town Board call for bids returnable on Tuesday, June 30th at 3:30 in the Council Chambers for uniforms for all uniformed personnel of the Police Department as set forth in the agenda before you.
So moved. Second. Motion by Councilman Krangle, seconded by Councilman Barnese. On the question, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 419, communication from Mike Kessler, Director of Water Resources, recommending that the Town Board call for bids returnable on June 23rd at 3:30 in the Council Chambers for approximately 40 to 80 tons of ferrous chloride dry weight.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Eminger, seconded by Councilwoman Shamira. On the question, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 420, motion to call a hearing to be held June 22nd at 7:30 in the Council Chambers pursuant to Chapter 58 entitled Buildings Unsafe, Section 58-1 and 2 of the Town Code to determine whether the premises located at 22 Harrison Avenue is unsafe or dangerous and order said premises to be made safe and secure or removed.
So moved. Second. Motion by Councilman Barnese, seconded by Councilman Eminger. On the question, I'm sorry, Councilman Krangle. I recommend you do it again. Motion by Councilman Barnese, seconded by Councilman Krangle. On the question, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 421, motion to call a hearing to be held June 22nd at 7:30 in the Council Chambers pursuant to Chapter 58 entitled Buildings Unsafe, Section 58-1-2 of the Town Code to determine whether the premises located at 15 Edgewood Avenue is unsafe or dangerous and order said premises to be made safe and secure or removed.
So moved. Second. Motion by Councilman Barnese, seconded by Councilman Krangle. On the question, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 422, motion to call a hearing to be held June 22nd at 7:30 in the Council Chambers pursuant to Chapter 58 entitled Buildings Unsafe, Section 58-1 and 2 of the Town Code to determine whether the premises located at 868 Delaware Road is unsafe or dangerous and order said premises to be made safe and secure or removed.
So moved. Second. Motion by Councilman Barnese, seconded by Councilman Krangle. On the question, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you. Okay, and I do not believe we have any other further items for tonight. And does any town board member have an item of information for the public?
Mr. Supervisor,
Councilman?
Phase 4, Parker Freeze, is going to be getting underway very shortly. We're going to be holding our first public meeting for Phase 4. It'll be very similar to what we've done on all the other phases. That meeting will be held next Tuesday, June 16th, at Franklin in their auditorium, 7 o'clock start time. And we invite the public to go there. Mailings have gone out to all those within a parameter that we've identified who will be affected by the project. The mailing went out today, so they will be receiving it in the next couple of days, announcing the meeting to them. On another matter, I just want to point out on the agenda tonight we had 2 or 3 street lighting, streets that have approved street lighting, and they're going to be going up. It's a very important, we've seen more and more of these over the past couple of years. Prior to about 3 years ago, 4 years ago, maybe Mike can correct me, but it used to be where the residents themselves had to pay for the improvement, and it really made it cost prohibitive. The residents would have to pay an additional hundreds of dollars a year for 15 years to do it. So you didn't see a lot of new streetlights going up over for 20 years, minimum 20 years. National Grid changed their policy. National Grid picks up their costs. The people just have to pay the additional cost of O&M, operation and maintenance, like those of us who have streetlights already. That's all they have to pay. So these have become, more and more streetlights are going up. If any neighborhood wants streetlights, we ask you to contact our tech support department or one of us, one of our town board members, and we'll be happy to walk you through the process. And it does take a little time. We can't even tell you when these streetlights are going to be started by National Grid. They're going to hire a contractor to do the work, and hopefully they'll be up, in the fall, if not sooner. That's it.
Okay, anyone else? Okay.
Madam Chair, I'd just like to add that these streets, the decision was made by the residents, not by the town board or the department head. These were residents that went out and petitioned each neighbor in that section where the block was, where these lights were going to be affected on the block. So the decision was met by the residents, and we had to get a certain percentage to meet to qualify to get those lights.
Over 50%, 50.1% of the assessed value of the street has to approve the street lighting district. Not 50% of the homeowners.
Right.
It's 50.1% of the assessed value of the homes or properties.
Thank you. At this point, we come to the public portion of our agenda. If there's anyone here tonight wishing to bring a matter before the town board, we ask you to raise your hand to be recognized. Yes, ma'am? Yes. If you would please, you need to come in, and if you would please write your name and address down on the sheet there, and then also state it in the microphone for the record, please. I'm sorry?
I'll write after I say it, okay?
Okay.
That's
just-
Donovan,
Cal-
163 McKinley Avenue in Kenmore.
Okay.
I'm here about the swim lesson situation in the town. I understood there was a press release sent out June 4th about some lessons being reinstated at Kenmore Pool, Main Pool, and Lincoln Pools. Prior to that, they were only going to be offered at Brighton. Is that correct?
Correct. That's correct.
Okay. Well, I would like to thank you very much for reinstating those. I can't tell you how important it is to have them at every pool. I wish it was more. We'll take.
Tell all your neighbors
I
to
wish
take
it was
lessons
more,
there.
because,
We need more people
you know,
taking lessons.
My daughters learned swimming at both pools at May, and then they moved on to the swim team. My one daughter is in 8th grade. She's going to West next year. She's been on the swim team for 2 years. Made it to sectionals this year. One of her teammates is here as well, Josie Michaels. Learned to swim at Main Pool. Sectional swimmer as well. Also started at West in 7th grade. So, there might be, I don't know where all these numbers are coming from, that they're down so low, but I can name personally at least 15 kids on the swim team at May. My one question, I might have more, is the lessons were reinstated, synchronized swim at Lincoln, but I didn't see anything on the press release about swim team.
Swim team, what, Titans? You talking about the Titans?
No. There's a swim team that is offered
Oh,
at
okay.
Jeff Aylers will.
all 3 pools.
Mr. Ehlers will be able to.
Hi.
All right. The swim team is going to be all big pools. It's going to be, it's on our website now. I like that on our website for us. I take a little time to read stuff. It's going to be offered various times at pools. I know you said we have your kids in the track program anyway, so it will coincide so we will track and quickly run over to the pool and be fine. Okay?
No, that's a separate team.
What is swim team?
It's a recreation swim team. They do the interpool meet, and the interpool meeting is going to be inside the aquatic center with a timing system. Make it real nice, like the bleachers and.
Yeah, there was an outdoor interpool that used to be at Brighton, an interpool with all 3 town pools, and then
Right. And the thing, we moved it.
there was a bigger meet.
Yeah, no, there was. And I mean, years ago, there were so many kids at the interpool meeting. It took us 3 hours to complete it. It's over in an hour now. It's just the numbers. We moved it inside, they come through about the weather. There's thunderstorms, we call it, so.
So thank you. It's a county, it's just sponsored by the town in the 3 pools. It's anyone from age 8 up until, there are sometimes lifeguards swimming at the town meet, which the kids always get a kick out of that, seeing their coach.
Protecting them.
And they hopefully, win. So it's a little less, cost prohibitive compared to Titans. And it also gets some kids go from one to the other. My daughter did that. She started at May, and now she does Titans. But my other daughter She has no interest in Titans, but she can't wait to go to the MAC one. And we did just, for your information, at an online petition, we had 443 signatures, 181 comments. The Aquats came out in droves on their comments on here, and I'll let you take them, look at them, do whatever you like. So,
Bring them up. We appreciate that.
thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
All right.
I think it'll make summer more enjoyable for all the kids in the town, in the village, and safer.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for coming up.
Sign for you.
Yep, thank you.
And congratulations to the young swimmer or the sectional swimmer.
Yeah, very good.
Very good.
Are you still playing basketball?
Water basketball?
No.
Oh.
There are different seasons.
Many sports.
Mr. Amateur.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to address? Yes, sir. If you would, please. And your name and address for the record if you haven't written it down.
Thought you were bringing your stand.
Yeah. Bill Langfield, 229 Cleveland Drive. Just a question. The financing of the construction of the Ellicott Creek New Hall.
The fire hall. We talked about that in the work session.
Yeah.
I'll let the supervisor handle this.
Well, we'll let my town attorney, who just did it today, Jack, can you give us, on the Ellicott Creek, why?
Why we have to approve the Ellicott Creek
It helps them with
construction?
their bonding, basically,
The
but,
simple answer is that they do it under the Internal Revenue Code, so that they can get a lower borrowing rate. They have to get the approval of both the County Amherst and the Town of Tonawanda. It's a fire protection district. It's not a
I know it's
fire
like yeah.
Fire districts actually have taxing authority, but the fire protection districts don't. So in order to borrow money cheaper under the Internal Revenue Code, they go through this process where there's a hearing officer appointed, and then the two municipalities simply, we're not guaranteeing any financing, it's just approving the borrow.
As you know,
all right, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to address the town board tonight? Yes, sir, please. Again, if you would get your name and address down and then state it into the microphone for the record, please.
Thank you to the board for taking the time. Jeff Mott and Tracy Lowowitz from Hamilton Boulevard in Kenmore. That's a waste of the board's time. Sorry.
That's all right. You can do it later.
Is there a separate village board that we want to talk about street repairs, or does that go through the town?
Yes, there is a separate village board.
Yeah, for the village, yes.
Yeah.
You live in the village, the village board will handle your street.
Right.
Speak into there just so people can hear
I
it.
told the girl where I live and where I was summoned for.
Yeah.
She said, okay, maybe use.
You live on Hamilton? Hamilton's,
then that-
Hamilton's all in the village.
No.
No?
Oh,
In
Hamilton
the
or
town?
Hampton? I'm sorry.
Hamilton.
Hamilton. Yeah, that,
Kenmore, that's what I meant. It's in
Yeah.
Kenmore. It's not in the town. Yeah, you're in there, you
I was
got
welcome to come here.
Yes.
but
Maybe they
your
misunderstood.
repair is done by the village.
they may
The
have
DPW.
she may have misunderstood, because we have a Hampton, maybe they were
When is
confusing.
theirs, do you know?
they meet on Tuesday nights.
Is it the third Tuesday, Sue, of every month? Second Tuesday. Second Tuesday of every month.
Okay?
Sorry, you have to.
Same place.
Yeah, as long as you're here, sure.
As long as I'm here,
Sure.
I just want to say, I watch my grandchildren. They are 3, 5, and 7, and it would cost me $5 a kid to bring to the Kenmore little pool. $15, I can't even take my grandkids there in the summer because, and they have to have, I could get their birth certificates, but they really wouldn't hang around with me. But anyway, I don't understand, $15 a year, that's not, it just doesn't make sense to me. That's so much money.
No,
Not sure what
I know that's right, because I took my grandchildren last year. It was $5 per kid
I was like,
at the baby pool.
I mean, at least at the Aquatic Center, it's free for 3 or $100. Check in with the boys, the girls, it's too much money for a grandma. I think
Okay.
if you're a grandma, you should be.
All right.
Thank you.
Nope, you're right, you're fine.
Okay,
Thank you for coming.
Okay, and I believe I saw a hand in the back.
That's my mother's one. You wrote that, right?
Yes, ma'am?
That's your mother?
No, it's my mother's line. Is that my phone?
Does she?
Good evening, Mr. Tonawanda Town Board.
Good evening.
I have a question about page 2, number 1, resolution 2013.
I'm sorry, you got to slow down just a minute. Page 2, number 1, what was that?
Page 2, number 1, resolution 2013-400.
400?
Yes.
400 even, okay.
Your page 2 is different than mine, I'm sorry.
Just go to
So,
resolution 400.
400?
It's the risk management, it's our claim.
Okay, claims, yes.
Oh, claims.
I guess I just need some clarification on this. I'm reading this as some individual received a claim of $486.07 for whatever reason, but to administer that claim, it cost $2,794.57. I guess my question would be, who is the benefactor of $2,794.57? It just seems a little odd to me. And is there a copy of this? Who benefits in textiles?
Is it an attorney?
Can I answer it? Or?
An attorney's fee?
There were a total of 3 claims.
That was more than that.
Okay, that totaled to 486. So there were 3 people. Okay, and there were 7. There were 7 claim expenses. So 7 people got divvied up to $27.94.
And who are those 7 people?
They're sitting here. Yeah, I got them. Yeah, and the law firms, individuals. Yeah.
So there are not attorney expenses or individual people that get this money? I guess I'm just still a little puzzled.
The payments, I'm not exactly sure, okay? First Niagara, as you know, Mrs. Tisby, First Niagara, we are self-insured.
I don't know all that.
Well, we've told you this on numerous occasions.
But I don't have any facts today.
No, but we've told you that. On numerous occasions, we've told you we're self-insured, and we have a TPA, a third-party administrator, who is First Niagara Bank, and when a claim comes into the town, they review it.
Okay, so how much money did First Niagara Bank receive for these $487,000?
They're paid on an annual retainer.
This total,
What's that?
the total amount, the $27.94?
Right.
Yes.
That's everything.
No, that's the 7 people. That's the 7 individuals.
That's the second.
Yes, yeah, that's what I just told you.
Right, it's not one
Yeah.
person.
Yeah, there are 3 claims, 7 people for the expenses. So they, and First Niagara makes a recommendation.
There's 3 on the first, those 3,
In the first page.
and
I
then
know
there's 7
that, 3,
additional.
and there's 7 on the following page.
Yeah.
There's 2 different groups.
2 different groups.
The first cost
there's 2 different groups.
486
So
was a total of 46.
Correct.
First Niagara makes a recommendation, they review it, sometimes they accept them, sometimes they reject them. Okay? These claims were made against the town because we're self-insured, up to $500,000, and so we have to pay out of the self-insurance fund.
So am I correct that we pay First Niagara some individual money to administer this claim? In addition, they get extra money after they administer it?
No. First Niagara gets paid a set amount. I don't know what that set amount is. Okay, but okay. If they don't get a commission on these.
No.
They don't get like a commission for approving this.
But these are attorneys and individuals.
These are
That's for that second figure, is attorneys and individuals.
Right.
So then we have attorney Lucci and Gallagher. We have
Yeah, those are
attorney
representing the people who are making the claims.
Yeah.
Lucci and Gallagher is not an attorney.
They're a law
Yeah, they're
firm.
a law
Yes.
firm.
It's a law firm.
And Jonathan Gold is
Is a person.
a person.
Individual.
Yes, an individual.
Thomas Eakes, because
He's-
it's Houlier Partnership.
he's an attorney.
So we have a whole bunch of attorneys from Houlier Partnership
We're representing these people.
Representing people.
who benefit from this money. Okay. And then the last one is payment number 7 is, again, Houlier Partnership LLP. So they're the usual law firm that would give money for these clients. Is that correct?
To the clients that they
Whoever the
represent.
clients have.
Correct.
So they represent the town?
No, they represent the clients.
Individual clients?
Yes, correct.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. And then page 3, resolution number 3. Page 3, number 3, resolution 2015-406.
406. That's the one you discussed earlier. Okay.
Article 7 attorney.
Okay. Yep, this is the one I explained.
Right.
Yep.
If I listened correctly, they changed law principle to conflict of interest, potential conflict of interest. But Article 7, is that all tax proceedings?
Article 7 are tax assessment proceedings, correct.
Okay. So then besides tax assessments, there's nothing else under Article 7?
Nope. Well, I'm not an attorney, but I don't believe so. I think it's just tax assessment, tax certiorari.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, they're
Yes.
tax certiorari assessment cases.
So just tax, it would just be tax issues in the town of Tonawanda?
Real estate tax.
Real estate tax?
Not property tax.
Not including Star?
No,
No,
assessment.
not including Star.
Okay. And then, so when you have these assessments under Article 7, where are they held, and who is the person that makes the ultimate decision? Is it a
Okay.
judge?
Okay. No, this is good. I like this stuff. Nobody else probably does because this is what I do for a living. Okay, so you want to have a seat? I'll tell you what goes on. Okay, Article 7 proceedings. Okay. Article 7 proceedings are for commercial, let me go back, are for 3 family or more, 4 family or more, my assessor's in the back, 4 family or more residential dwellings. So single family, 1, 2 family, and 3 family dwellings go to what we call small claims assessment review. That's a separate thing. Article 7, you have to be 4 family or more for apartments or any commercial or industrial structure or vacant land.
So it can't be single homes?
Cannot be single homes. You wouldn't want it to be single homes. It's more costly to go to Article 7 for the individual and for the town to defend it. SCAR, small claims assessment, that's, you only have to pay $35, I believe, for do a single family or a 2-family home.
Okay, so where are these proceedings held if one was interested?
Once you file your SCAR, which is a state, they will...
No. If you were just a regular little person and you were interested in maybe assessing or observing these proceedings, where would they be held?
Okay, you cannot go to a SCAR hearing. You can't watch a small claims hearing. Unless you're one of the participants. They're held in a lawyer's office, and it's just the parties who are involved.
Are you saying SCAR or STAR?
SCAR, small claims, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not going to be talking about STAR. This is all SCAR. They are held in an individual attorney's office. And just the parties that are involved, the municipality and the individual property owner and the hearing officer, who is an attorney, hears the case.
But the ultimate outcome, is that something the public would know about?
No, I don't believe it. I'll have to call on our assessor, Mr. Morano.
I'd rather that it doesn't occur.
Okay, well, he'll be able to answer your question, though, because I'm not sure.
I would prefer not to.
Okay, all right, we'll leave that unanswered then.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Okay, okay. Good question. I like questions like that.
I'm glad. Thank you very much. Thought-provoking, right? I guess I have one question. I don't know who to phrase this to, but I've come to several public meetings, and it seems like arbitrarily some people are asked to name and address, and some people are not. But what I have noticed very distinctly is that all the town employees and department heads are never ever asked where they live, how they live, or what their name, address, street is. And I guess the other question is, are town employees required to reside in the town of Tonawanda to be employed in the town of Tonawanda? So there's 2 questions, I'm sorry.
Yes. They are required. First 15 years of employment.
They have to live in the town of Tonawanda.
Except for the police.
Thank you.
There are some exceptions, that's
There are
correct.
some exceptions. Okay, so and our assessor, the state law does not require any assessor in the state to live in their town. And state law supersedes any local law.
Okay, so the police chief and the assessor do not have to live in the town of Tonawanda, but the other employees do.
Police up to 8 years of service have to live in the town.
Okay.
Certain individuals, 15 years of employment in the town, have to live in the town. After that, they can move out.
Okay, and I guess...
That was negotiated.
Okay, and I guess the question any town board member chooses to answer, why would, I guess to me it's like a disparity of treatment. Anybody has asked their name, address, but a town employee has not asked where they reside and, their name, address.
If the town employee was here bringing up a concern as you were, we would be asking the same questions that we're asking right now. But they're not here to do that, as far as I know.
You're referring to the public. She's referring to the department heads.
We gave their name.
It says their job. They're showing up as their job to answer your question.
I do appreciate it's their job, and thankfully so. But the question is, why are they not required to say, I live at 123 Smith Street?
They're not approaching the board asking a question.
Do you know what, Mrs. Tisby, actually, when we I don't know, there was a time where we didn't require them to write their name and address.
Right.
And sometimes we found additional information to provide a resident. So when we ask for your name and your address, sometimes we have additional information that we find you and we find for you, and we want to be able to contact you and give you that information. That's why we ask to put your name and address.
I appreciate that. But what if you just wanted a question and you really didn't want to have anybody contact you? Wouldn't you have that right to not be contacted? It's like when you fill out something for, whatever. You're saying that you want everybody's address, so you need to respond to them. You have
We're doing it as a courtesy to our residents. Yes, yes.
So
We would hope that if somebody came with a question and we found additional information to provide to them, that you would want it. Right?
Well, yeah, but I suppose you would pursue it. But the question still remains, and I think the answer is that town employees are excused from publicly giving their name and their residence because they're just answering a question and they're not coming out here and asking any questions. Is that correct?
No. Next question. We answered the question, Mrs. Tisby. The answer's no. I answered it. No. The next question. I answered it.
Thank you. So the question is, I guess the question is they don't have to give their name and address because they're just out here answering.
Because they're answering a question. Correct. You answered yourself. Correct. They were asking a question. If a town employee comes to ask a question to the town board, we make them give their name and address. And they have, and we have done it.
They have.
And we have done it.
Thank you. Have a nice evening.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming
Anyone
up.
else tonight wishing to address the town board? Okay, seeing none, then we'll close the public portion of the agenda. I know if we have any students here tonight, we'll be glad to sign your paperwork after the adjournment. At this time, I thank everyone for being here tonight. We move to adjourn. Councilman Eminger?
Yes, I move that we adjourn in memory of the following to the town board meeting to be held on Monday, June 22nd, 2015. Ann W. Bevere, George Clay, Peter F. Dersinio, Rose R. Zalitsky, Tyler Z. Ehrig, Rael L. Gallant, David R. Grobe, Robert Hambridge, Deborah Hartman, Junette Hoffman, Linda Sue Kelly, Mark E. Kramer, John L. Lewis, Joseph M. Luszewski, Nancy A. Labruto, Vincent A. Battagliano, Patricia Miller, George A. Newman, Susan Orsarak, Patrick J. Riley, William Ruiz, Nicholas F. Solenardo, Alfred J. Sharp, and Robert S. Timoneri.
There is a unanimous second by the entire town board. We have a motion is carried, and we stand adjourned. Thank you for coming tonight, everybody.